The next item on the agenda is 601 Angus Avenue East. It's a request for a use permit to allow an addition which increases the gross floor area by greater than 50%, which is actually 111% per section 12-200-030B1 of the San Bruno zoning ordinance. Staff report, please.
Thank you. Good evening. The application is for an addition to a single-family home, which is located at the corner of Angus Avenue East and 5th Avenue. A use permit is required in this case because the floor area would increase by 99%. The project does comply with all other development standards of the municipal code. The site is 5,000 square feet, and the existing living space is only 745. They have an attached one-car garage. The project would include the addition of 978 square feet of additional living space. So the total living space would be 1,723 square feet. The one-car garage would remain at 247 square feet. So the living area is below our threshold, which requires a two-car garage. And the resulting floor area ratio would be 0.39, which, as you know, is well below the standard of 0.55. The finished materials would match the existing house, including horizontal siding, shingle roofing, and 1x4 window trim. We do have the color samples available. It includes tan siding, white trim, and brown shingle roofing. The project was heard at the August 13th Architectural Review Committee meeting. At that time, staff recommended and the committee agreed that they should highlight the front porch, the entryway, a little bit more. And so they did receive a positive recommendation with that suggestion. So since that time, the applicant has revised the plans and they've included a new gable roof, emphasizing that front porch area. It had just a very small flat roof, and so it was hard to kind of distinguish where the front door was before. They've also proposed to repaint the existing front door, which is, they said, a good front door, but it will highlight that area a little bit more with a little bit more contrasting color. So staff does support these changes and thinks that will be an improvement to the property. In response to our regular notice that we send to neighbors, we did receive one letter from a neighbor kind of just slightly down the street. He was concerned about parking in the area, and staff did respond to that neighbor and talk a little bit about the fact that the project is within the requirements of the municipal code for parking, that they have the driveway parking available, and also that we don't have the ability to regulate the number of cars that people operate. And we do have the standard condition on this project that the garage be used for the storage of vehicles. And so that neighbor did say that he understood that that's as much as we could do, and there didn't seem to be any other concerns from him. That letter is attached to the back of the staff report. So overall, staff finds that the addition is well integrated into the existing house. It's consistent with the house and the surrounding neighborhood. It would be a big improvement to a modest, relatively small home to accommodate the family's needs and meet the design criteria that we're looking for. So staff recommends approval based on findings 1 through 6 and subject to conditions of approval 1 to 25. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff? Thank you. We'll now open the public hearing, and if the applicant can please step forward and state your name and a description of your project, please.
Good evening. My name is Alan Gadafarin. I am the architect engineer for this project. Mr. and Mrs. Andrade, they own this house for a while. They have 5 children, and so their space is very small. That's what they decided. It's a 2-bedroom house now. They decided to add in the backyard. It's a big lot, 50 by 100, so that's why we decided to expand at the rear yard. And then we did put into consideration all the facts regarding the aesthetic of the project, the compliance with the neighboring in terms of the height requirements and the setback requirements and the color and the type of material that we have to use. So it's pretty much consistent with the neighboring property.
Thank you.
Sure.
Are there any questions of the applicant? Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Is there anyone else from the public that wishes to speak on this item? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and bring it back for commission discussion. Hearing no discussion, is there a motion?
Through the chair. Through the chair, motion that we approve use permit 9-0015 based on findings of fact 1 through 6 and conditions of approval 1 through 25.
It's been moved in second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Please note that there is a 10-day appeal process and that there will be no activity or any action on the property. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Okay.